My computer froze. That's never happened to me before with this computer. Kind of sucks. We were having a good conversation going, but anyways, as I was saying, two-wheel drive buggy is always one of my favorite. My mom bought me this car, and the JRX Pro really has kind of a special spot in my heart. So I'd say just for all the good memories that started RC, the JRX Pro definitely is up there as far as one of my favorite cars. So to answer Patrick's question, mod two-wheel drive is my favorite class, and pretty much any buggy. The B6.2 and 0.1s have been really phenomenal. The last couple of years I've driven them. I got my 22 5.0 that I'm going to be racing on the dirt for the time being. So all those cars are really good. So sorry my connection cut out. My computer just froze up. And that's never it never did that before. Maybe it's the webcam. Hopefully not, because this is the computer I use for scoring all of our big races and stuff at the Plex. So hopefully it won't be a consistent problem. Hopefully it's something just random. But whatever. We're back for a little bit longer. I'm going to be on for another half hour or so. Hi, how's it going? So before I got cut off, we were talking about somebody wanted to see my RC car collection, so I figured why not? It gives me good stuff to talk about. And I started showing off a bunch of my cars and stuff. So this paint scheme I actually had Ken McKinney do for me. I was able to find a new in-package JRX Pro body. There was an old hobby shop here in town called Action RC Hobbies, and it was the Jacobs family, and they actually had 3 old school Losi bodies, and I was able to get them. So that's why this one has my current paint scheme. So you can see the old logo wheels. I wish they'd come back with these, man. These were awesome. So Mason, I haven't sent you an email yet because I've been here doing this. So when this is over with, I'll do it. I lost my connection and finish up talking about stuff for tonight. So be patient. We'll get to you. So it's good to have some of you guys back on. Sorry about that. It's so bizarre. I don't know what happened. One more. I'm going to do a couple more. So this one is pretty cool. It's a JRX T, and I've shown this one on here before, I think one of the past things, but this is pretty much a mint condition JRX T that I was able to pick up from somebody that came into the store. They actually wanted to get this thing running, and I'm like, dude, this thing is a specimen. You should not run this at all. But this one does have kind of like an old 80s paint job where it's just a one color deal, but they put, Coca-Cola stickers. Autographics used to be a company that made RC car stickers. It's signed by Gil Losi Jr. So thought that was pretty awesome. And you can see here, it's pretty much mint. It's got the 5 link. And look at that. That spur gear has never even been ran. It is it's pretty much brand spanking new. So it's pretty awesome. I like to get this down every once in a while. I still get giddy about it because And then I have a couple RC10s that are kind of prized possessions. So this is an original RC10. I actually had one that had the skinny front wheels, and I traded it to a person so that I could get another cool car that is no longer available. So this one's also in really good condition. You can see there's not really a scratch on it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. And then I have got the original box. And then I've got a Team Associated RC10 graphite car here that's also in really good condition. You can see not really a scratch on it. And this one's got the stealth transmission in the back, and it's got the Teflon coated shocks, and it has kind of the original Hobbytown kind of paint job on it. So this is actually the car that was at La Vista in the case for a really long period of time, and the owner was nice enough to gift it to me. So another car that's kind of a treasure for me. And then I'll show you guys this one before I kind of get tired of talking about my stuff. So this is what I traded one of my RC10Ts for. Oh, I'm so fat. Don't look at my belly. This is a Team Losi Graphite Edition Triple XS that is, other than being a little dirty, pretty much mint. So the Graphite Edition had all of these cutouts on the chassis that made this car extremely light, but also a little bit fragile. We'd always break them about right here, or at least I would. You can see it's got all the old school graphic stuff, graphite, and ball diffs front and back on this one. This was before we were all running spools and all that stuff. It's a lot of parking lot racing. So I actually have two complete cars of these and a huge pile of parts because Wes Hicks wanted an RC10T really bad, and I wanted his Triple XS really bad. So this was a pretty good pickup for me. So unfortunately, the belts are toast. I guess it's not completely mint because the belts have not stood the test of time. I was going to see if I could get this running, just because I do have a lot of parts that I could replace if I did break it. But none of the belts that I have are any good, and the belt on this is toast. It's basically falling apart. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that right there. So that's kind of a bummer. But other than that, this thing's in really good shape. So one day I'll clean it up, make it look real nice, and I'll get a nice body for it again. The first time I ever raced mod touring car, I was about as giddy as I was when I first raced an e-buggy, because it was so fast. I'd never gone that fast before, ever, with that much traction, and that's what this car had. So and then Patrick wants to know about my Novak. How much old Novak stuff do you have waiting to go in RC cars? We've got a 410 M1. another 410 M1, a 410 M5. This was my first speed controller after a T4 that I ever bought. Here's a working Cyclone, a working Tempest, and here's a T4. This was the first speed controller I ever purchased. This was what I was running in my JRX Pro in the early 90s for a couple years, was my T4. And I think that's it. I've got an old Tekin. Got a Tekin Rebel, which these actually were still being made not that long ago. And then there's a bunch of these Roosters and an Explorer. I know this one still works. This was one of their final like sport speed controllers for brushed motors. And then I still have some era-specific Team Losi motors. I try to make all my cars era-specific if I can help it. So, yeah, just a bunch of dumb stuff that I just basically put it all in a pile and look at it whenever I come down and work on my stuff. So I'm like, hey, look at all my Novak stuff I got. Oh, yeah. And the racer. And then oh, one more car. This guy. This is a Traxxas TRX 3, I believe. Yeah, but this is the third version of the TRX series of buggies. And my buddy Chris Catlett actually had this and was actually running it not that long ago. And then he wanted me to have it, so because he was cleaning out his garage and didn't need it. So it's a little dirty, and it's an interesting car. If you look at it, the front arms and the rear arms are basically banded arms, Traxxas banded arms. They could probably go right on a Traxxas Bandit right now. And if you look at the rear hubs, they're really similar to what's on a Bandit right now. The front spindles, you guys can, it's kind of dark, sorry. But the front spindles and the front hubs are essentially nitro, like nitro sport front hubs and spindles. So it's kind of cool that a lot of parts that were on this car are pretty much still being made today. So yeah, actually Jason Rona just did a video not that long ago about the history of Traxxas racing, because he's pretty much got a brand new Traxxas Blue Eagle LS, I think. And Traxxas has officially won a Roar National Championship, I think twice, back in the day. So it didn't last long. They kind of turned their attention towards the ready-to-run market towards the late 90s. And then in the 2000s, for a little while there, they were really pushing racing monster trucks, the Traxxas Revo, when the RC Pro Series had a class of them. And I even think Roar had a monster truck class at one of the nationals, and I'm pretty sure Mike Batali won with a Traxxas Revo 3.3, a monster truck class. But besides that, Traxxas really got out of racing altogether. They make way more money worrying about ready-to-run stuff and going the fastest name in RC instead of anything remotely capable of handling a racetrack. So Yeah. This one, so this one, I've got my good stuff here. This one goes over here. I just can't bring it. I can't bring myself to put a Traxxas car over here. Like that's just, it's just not something I want to do. So this one stays over here. But if that guy's still around that was asking about my car collection, there you go. Hopefully I won't do that again and bore you guys to death with all the stuff that I accumulate. So I'm still freaked out that my computer froze tonight. That's never happened. And the only thing that I've done different is have this webcam up. So I don't know. Hopefully. Hopefully it'll be all right in the future. So yeah, Patrick, dude, for sure. Ready to runs is where the money's at. And to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons why the HobbyPlex is able to stay open, because we sell so much just fun kits, not anything towards racing. We sell a lot of racing stuff too, but if you look around upstairs, we've got all the ARMA stuff that's been doing really well the last couple of years, and all the Traxxas stuff, of course. Plus all the other segments of racing now that we got. It's really cool. You can kind of pick your poison. I was planning on crawling today out in our crawler course. My crawler is done, and I'm cutting myself off from buying stuff now for it. I feel like it's complete, and it rained. So go figure. So anyways, what I'd hoped to accomplish tonight is getting this baby bound, and now I got to put the servo back on and make sure I get my endpoints all straight, set the speed controller to the radio, and get it ready to rock and roll tomorrow. I'm going to try to run tomorrow for a battery pack or two, just to kind of remember what I like to do, you know? So yeah, I definitely like the external camera for this for HobbyPlex Afterhours so far, though. It's just better to have you guys right there in front of me instead of me like this the whole time. Man, we were having such a good discussion about stuff too earlier, and I cut it off. Paxton, dude, I don't even know how you know what day it is. Like, I have to go to work every day. That's how I know what day it is. But there was like earlier in the week when I didn't work Sunday night, all day Monday, and half of Tuesday. Honestly, didn't know what day it was. I kind of forgot. So I don't know how you kids do it. If you're not in school, how would you know? Emerson just sleeps all day and does his homework from home. Let's turn this back on. There we go. Yeah, I thought we'd be playing a lot more video games with being out of school than what we've been doing around here. Not as many video games. I thought for sure to be playing a lot of stuff online with his friends, but He hasn't really been doing that. It's kind of weird. So got a few minutes left here. So we're going to try, Emerson and I, we're going to try to jump our house on Monday with an Arma Outcast. We're going to give it a shot. I got a jump all ready to go, and I'm kind of bummed out that Joe Bornhorst already did a house jump with his MT410, but I live on a T, so I get a full run up to my house, and I'm just hoping that I don't miss and hit my neighbor's house. That would suck. Like if I hit the jump and it went like that, like a golf ball, that'd be bad. So we're gonna tape it. We're gonna video it. Tape it. Nobody tapes anything. We're gonna video it and put together a little video for YouTube to get on here, and hopefully it should be up Monday night if we're successful. If we're not successful, you'll know because there won't be a video. We'll try again later or something like that. All right, so we're gonna check the endpoints real quick on my new car. New to me, anyways. Hang on. NASCAR. Supercross, man. I've actually been playing, well, I was until our TVs went haywire, but because there's no more Supercross season, at least for the time being, I've been playing Supercross too a lot more than I thought I would when I have time. I got to plug my computer in. Hopefully it doesn't freeze my computer up. Yay. Yeah, they just announced that Supercross 3 was going to be free for a couple of days. I was actually going to give that a try. Don't do what I just did. I turned my radio on after I turned my speed controller on. So what I'm going to do is make sure that my servo isn't going to get stressed out. So I'm going to limit my endpoints. I just turned to one side and it was pulling this A-arm. So I'm going to go into my radio and reduce that steering throw on that side so that my servo doesn't overheat, so I don't fry a servo. That's one of the nice things about having a good computer radio is that you can go in and do that. If you've got a dumb radio, you know, just a regular analog, you can't really do much. I guess the DX2Es do have all those buttons that can limit it, but if you have like a Traxxas radio, it's not a whole lot you can do. So go to here and do okay and turn that down. There we go. Okay. So what I did was, looks like one side needed to be turned down a little bit. The other side was pretty much right there, spot on. But that's a really important thing to do. If you got a computer radio, you can go into your EPA, endpoint adjustment. You look down over the car, and you turn your wheel. And if the throw is more than you need, basically it'll like pull on the arm, or your servo will freak out and kind of make that humming noise telling you that it's trying really hard to turn, even though there's nothing to turn. And that can get the motor hot, and that's what can fry a servo prematurely. So you look straight down over the top of the car, and then you turn your wheel, and then you go in your endpoint, and as you're looking down over it, you turn it down if you need to. So now that that's done, is it unusual for endpoints to be different on each side? Nope, not at all. It's also really important to make sure that your steering turnbuckles are the exact same length. If one side is longer than the other, then it'll have more throw than the other side, and that's not a good thing. So you need to make sure that your tie rods, especially for steering, are the exact same length. And then if you do make like toe changes to the front, you got to make sure you do both sides equally, and make sure you remeasure it with your caliper. But even then, it's still not that. It's not that strange to have both sides. Like I did, this one was 75%, this one was 85%. On the old Losi 22, the 22 and the 22 2.0, you had to go into your endpoints and crank those babies up, because most radios at 100%, when you turned it, didn't turn it enough. So you had to like crank it farther than that. But you know, if you're off, if your tie rods are off by a little tiny bit, it's not a huge deal, but you should definitely make them the same. And then normally they're within maybe 5 to 10 points of one another. Hope that answered that question. The main thing is look down over the top of it and steer at both sides and really see where it is, though, because you can always fix a turnbuckle being off, but you know, it's $60 to $100 or more to fix a servo. So now I kind of need to set the endpoints on the speed controller, but I'm going to assume that it kind of sets like a hobby wing. So we'll see. We'll give it a go. Nope. I've never owned one of these before, so it's a reedy black box, and I don't have the instructions. I'm not very good at that. So I think, so not to be rude, I'll probably do that after we're done here, just so I can look up the instructions. So I don't know, man. That's probably it, unless you guys have any more questions for me. I like this camera. From this down, I look skinny. The crawler I just finished was my Element Enduro. I wish I had it here. I left it at work, but I'm trying to max out my scale points. and so I just finished putting a driver and an interior in it. It's just a 2-dimensional one, so I'm not going to get very many points for it, but it does actually look really cool. It's I got the interior from a XXX short course buggy body set, and I painted him and gave him a little helmet, and he's got like painted 5-point harness and everything, and a steering wheel, so it looks really cool. And then I bought a first aid kit to put in my tool chest thingy to get a point, and it's got all the weight that I need on it now. I took the weights off of my wheels and then drove it around. I didn't like it, so I put the weights back on the wheels, and I feel like the weight is just about right. So that's about it. That's about everything I had done to it. Before that, I already had SSD heavy hubs, brass hubs, brass knuckles is what they call them. I put SSD pumpkin covers on it, brass. It has J-Concepts landmine tires on it, SSD wheels, Assassins, and it's got a Proline metric body on it with the Enduro cage. So it's pretty cool looking. It works really good. I really like it. And whenever we're allowed to go out and actually like hang out with our friends in groups of 10 or more, I'll be ready for a competition. So yep, I've got the 1080 ESC in mine, and I left the stock motor in it. I guess I shouldn't say I'm finished with my truck. I guess we're never finished, really, are we ever? I am thinking about getting a faster motor, maybe a 12-turn or 13-turn. I just feel like I just need like a smidgen more wheel speed. But for now, it's fine. So, yeah, I wish I had it here. It's like one of the only vehicles I don't have behind me right now. It's at work. So, I'm actually looking forward to getting out and getting some more video footage of our outdoor crawler course. I got a couple editions I'm going to start working on as soon as it gets nice out. Again, it was nice this weekend, but I spent most of my time outside mountain biking. But I do got a couple additions I'm going to do to the crawler course outside. So I don't know, man. This summer, hopefully, we'll turn around and become a really good, fun summer of RC stuff, especially at the Plex, the store, Hobbytown HobbyPlex. So just got to wait all this crap out, I guess. Oh, the Gen 7 portal. Did you get the kit, like the Gen 8, the portal axle kit that Red Cat made? I actually sold a couple of those recently. They kind of sat on the shelf for a little while, and then all of a sudden, like 3 or 4 guys came in and got them. Yeah, I'm actually trying to think about what I want as a second truck. I'm probably going to get the SCX 10.3. It looks pretty good. So I was going to get a TRX4, but now I'm thinking, now that we've had it in our hands at the store, I'll probably get that one. I bet it's going to be good. It's too bad everybody's out of speed controllers and motors. Castle doesn't have any axes, or Castle doesn't have any of their crawler edition stuff in stock right now, and Hobbywing doesn't have any axes, and they don't even have any like motors in stock at the moment. It's all in back order. So we kind of thought ahead, and we ordered like 20 1080 speed controllers about 3 weeks ago, and we're down to like 4 already. So I hope we're able to get those back in at least, because those are really good speed controllers for the money. And I'm hoping the brushless stuff all comes back in stock here this summer, because it kind of sucks being out of all that stuff. Yeah, the 1080 is such a great little speed controller, and it's like 41 bucks. It's unbelievable how good it is. It can handle 3-cell. It's waterproof. It's metal cased. It's crazy how cheap it is. That's why we sell so many of them. Yeah. So Peter just said that the TRX4 is bulletproof, but the new Axial is probably better for comp. I was pretty impressed by the look of quality on the Axial, the new Axial kit. I don't know if you guys have seen the unboxing video we did when we first got it in, but upon further inspection, I'm pretty convinced that thing's going to be good. I was thinking that for what I got, my Enduro is like an amazing Class 2.5 vehicle, but I think the Axial truck could be a really good Class 1, because with the tiny tires, you've got the extra clearance from the portals. So that's kind of what I'm leaning towards for sure. But I've seen guys do really good with the TRX4 too. This winter, Brent Foxhoven came, and like an out-of-the-box stock TRX4 won a couple of our crawler nights on Tuesdays when we had like 7 or 8 guys there. So I think they're capable, but side-by-side comparison, man, I don't know. Having that dig is really cool with the Axial too. We'll have to, I don't know. Paxton drove his Rustler 4x4 into the storm drain. Derp. Nice. You should put like a red balloon by it. So, all right, guys, it's about 10:30, and I got to look up some stuff so I can learn about this speed controller, and then I'm going to go to bed and get ready to go to work tomorrow. I'm going to bring this car with me, see if I can do some laps, and kind of get the feel for racing an RC car again. So I'm going to bail. Sorry for the 2-parter tonight. Kind of weird that my computer froze, but you just kind of go with it. That's why you take Lexapro. So there it is, you guys. Hope that you tune into the Hobbytown Show podcast. Hopefully I'll be getting our newest episode to listen to and confirm before it gets posted, either sometime tomorrow or maybe Saturday at the latest. So it should be a good episode. Will and I were having fun on Monday. And if you have any questions for the HobbyPlex, if you get on the HobbyPlex Show Facebook page, I usually put out a call for questions on that on Sunday night and Monday, and then we talk about it on the podcast, and then it gets released later that week. So it's a fun thing to interact with and check into, and I'm really having a lot of fun kind of doing these live streams and doing our podcast and kind of interacting on a different level than just being in the store all day. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later, okay? Thanks for tuning in.